Hey guys, it's me Rena from Snailworks Crochet, and in today's video I want to try Tunisian crochet. Now for how this video came about, it's been on my list for a while, but I recently went shopping to get some extra yarn for a cardigan I'm working on, and so while I was there I took a look at some of the hooks and I found a Tunisian crochet hook. I picked up this size. This is a 5mm crochet hook for Tunisian crochet, and I figure that should be an appropriate size for me to try what I'm doing. Before I jump into doing Tunisian crochet, let me explain a couple of things. So first, what is Tunisian crochet? Let me Google this real quick. Now, according to Wikipedia, Tunisian crochet or Afghan crochet is a type of crochet that uses an elongated hook, often with a stopper on the handle end called an Afghan hook. It is sometimes considered to be a mixture of crocheting and knitting. As such, some techniques used in knitting are also applicable in Tunisian crochet. One example is the intarsia method. Basically, you have this long hook and you crochet. You have like multiple loops on that hook and do stuff. I don't know. Also, I bought this and then I watched like a Michelle Jasic video where she talks about how she organized her Tunisian crochet hooks, and hers look different. Hers have like a hook and then like a little cable with it. I think those are used by people who like to make sweaters. Like I think pattern creator Justa Worsted uses those hooks for her sweater patterns, but I'm just gonna start with something simple. I have a feeling I'm not gonna like it, but for those folks who are unfamiliar with the look of Tunisian crochet, it's crocheting that looks like knitting. And so a lot of times crocheters who can't knit learn Tunisian crochet, and they make really pretty knit-like garments because the goal at the end of the day is to make something that looks like knitting. If you want to make a crochet garment that looks like knit stitch, check out Tunisian crochet. Now, here are a couple of my hangups, and this is why I don't want to buy multiple tools to try Tunisian crochet. I don't know why. I'm a pencil grip holder. I prefer holding my crochet hooks like a pencil. Here's a Susan Bates hook for reference. So I hold it like this and then I crochet like this, right? So when I see videos of people doing Tunisian crochet, you kind of are forced to use the knife grip on Tunisian crochet, because how else are you going to get all those stitches in one thingy, right? My biases say that I'm not going to like it very much, primarily because I am a pencil grip holder, and Tunisian crochet seems to work well for folks who prefer the knife grip, which I feel like is probably most folks actually. It will be weird. The only times I find myself doing knife grip is if I use really chunky yarn, but then by that point I give up and just stop. Because knife grip is not comfortable for me. It's very awkward. It doesn't feel intuitive to me. I'm curious to see how I'm going to like this. Another hang-up I have, and another bias I have, I guess, is that because Tunisian crochet requires you to have multiple loops on one hook, there's not a lot of room for like ergonomic handles. Say you're making a scarf this wide, where's the ergonomic handle gonna go, right? Like, how are you supposed to do that? Again, for any folks who do Tunisian crochet, feel free to correct me because I'm dumb. I'm just some rando on the internet at the end of the day. But I don't think that Tunisian crochet lends itself well to ergonomic handles, and I like me a good ergonomic handle. So those are my biases, and those are also my hesitations with trying Tunisian crochet. How many times can I say Tunisian crochet in one video? Who has a counter? I'm not doing that. So how am I going to approach this? Well, first, I have this 5mm hook. I don't like to crochet things that I will not end up using. That's just a hang up of mine personally. I don't like to make swatches because then those swatches end up everywhere and just take up space and I hate it. But because I'm like a noob at Tunisian crochet, here's the plan I'm going to do. I'm going to follow a couple of tutorials on YouTube of how to do Tunisian crochet. And, you know, those tutorials will have you like crochet like, you know, a square or something, right? Or a rectangle. I'm going to crochet a rectangle and then I'm going to turn that rectangle into a soap sack and then donate said soap sack. That way I can practice the method and also make something with it even if it sucks, which I have a feeling it will. From my understanding, the Tunisian Crochet 101 tutorial to follow will be TL Yarn Crafts. Oh, she literally has a video called Learn Tunisian Crochet in 15 minutes with 1 million views. Let's do that. Let's do some Tunisian crochet. Okay, so here's some scrap yarn. This is the Hobie 88 cotton. I'm gonna use this. Let's see how this works. And then I'm going to use my Tunisian crochet hook.
For me, Tunisian crochet is that exciting crossroads between traditional crochet and knitting. It's a really beautiful fabric that always gets a second glance from yarn enthusiasts. Now, if you've always want to find something that has no ergonomic shaping or special adornments on the hook handle.
See, this is what I mean.
The reason being is that in Tunisian crochet, we're going to collect loops on the body of our hook, so we don't want anything getting in our way because we will need to work into the loops of our chain.
Oh God, I hate this already. 2, 3, 4. Holding my hook like this is killing me. Like it's truly killing me.
We actually want to rotate our chain towards us and
Oh,
find the back bumps that exist down the center channel of our chain. Then yarn over your hook and pull up.
Okay, so looks like I'm crocheting in these back bumps and I am not a fan of crocheting the back bumps. Okay.
The loop and keep that loop on your hook. We're going to continue that down the chain, finding the next back bump, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up the loop.
Okay. Insert hook. I wonder if this would work better if I had an inline crochet hook versus a tapered one. Back bump crochet, I mean, yes, can I do it? I kind of hate it though. I know I have a bad attitude, I'm sorry. Start with the 11
If you're having a little trouble at this point, don't worry. The foundation is truly the trickiest part of learning Tunisian crochet. And once you get past this step, it'll be...
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How does she have 12? But like, she told me to do the, you know, she said second chain from hook, right? Like, hold on, let me redo this.
To start things off, we want to find a second chain from the hook. So here's the loop on our hook. That does not count as a chain.
I think this will be wide enough for a soap sack. I will be very upset if it... Oh, don't... Okay, you can obviously tell I do not crochet in the back bumps. I have done it, I just hate doing it, so that's a me problem. But okay, let's continue.
Pull through 2 loops.
2 loops.
Yarn over, pull through 2 loops.
Pull through 2 loops. Okay, I see what you're cooking. You're cooking. Okay, you're cooking. I see this.
At this point, you might be a little confused, but I promise you can now yarn over and pull through your last 2 loops. We have now completed our foundation row.
I think I figured this thing out so far. It's very interesting. Like, the method itself is very simple. I don't think it's hard. My primary complaint is how I hold the hook. But everything else about it, with the exception of casting on, because that was awful, was actually very simple, and once I got the hang of it, I think I can do it. I'm gonna finish this off camera because I don't want to keep my phone running for too long, just recording me doing nothing, because it's not that interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna work on this. I'm going to hopefully finish it and then, you know, sew it up, bind off, and make a soap sack. And I will get back to you. Okay, so I have this much of Tunisian crochet done. I'm kind of playing yarn chicken here to get one more row, but I'm most likely going to switch to a different color because what I want to do is take this, fold it in half, make a soap sack like this, and then sew up the sides. It's a little bit short right now, so that's why I'm going to add on a different color. Now, I will say, this is pretty cool. Like, this is pretty stinking cool. I will say, it doesn't look like knit stitch here, but this looks like a pearl right here. It's a really cool texture. It's also a very interesting texture. I also low-key think I probably used too small of a hook for this yarn because it's kind of stiff, but, you know, I know for next time I'll probably use thinner yarn because whatever. I did get used to doing the motion with the knife grip. Still not my favorite personally, but I got used to it. The one thing that's interesting about doing Tunisian crochet is that you use your opposite hand a lot, which I guess I kind of figured because when I was watching a Michelle Jasic video, she said that people think she crochets kind of funny, and she said, yeah, because I learned how to crochet with Tunisian crochet. So Tunisian crochet requires you to use the opposite hand a lot more in order to, like, you know, throw the yarn over your hook and stuff like that. So I figured, you know, fine, that's cool. Again, it's very interesting and it is very similar to knitting. So, you know, considering Tunisian crochet is kind of that in between of crochet and knitting, it makes sense. So I'm going to look up a tutorial on how to do color changes with Tunisian crochet and then add on another piece of scrap yarn because I'm basically out of this. I will finish the soap sack and get back to you on how that experience was overall. Yeah, it turns out I only needed this much for the soap sack. So I figured out how to bind off. I figured out how to color change. It is very easy to color change on this. Like, I thought there was more involved in it. There's not. And look at how clean that is. Am I a genius or is it just that easy? Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna weave in these ends and make the soap sack. I think it's a little bit small for the soap sack that I'm making, at least for the soap that I'm pairing with it. But if I had a smaller bar of soap, then I don't think it'll be a problem. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, weave this in, and I will share my thoughts on the experience. Okay, here we go. Here is the soap sack I made with Tunisian crochet. I mean, it's a little messy because I didn't do the best of jobs seaming up the ends, but you know, it's whatever. I made a functional soap sack and this will be donated in my next soap sack donation box. I tend to send those every so often. But that was my foray into Tunisian crochet. Okay, now what are things I liked and what are things I disliked about Tunisian crochet? I'm gonna start with dislikes because I prefer to share the negative things first before sharing the positives. What are the negatives? Holding my hook like a knife grip. That part was the weirdest part to me. It's not my favorite personally. I would say that's my biggest sting on Tunisian crochet. I also kind of hate casting on. It's terrible because not only am I using an uncomfortable grip for me, I also have to work this stuff into the back loops and I kind of hate that. So those are the two big things I dislike. Now for the positives of Tunisian crochet, the end result is so cool. It is so cool. Like, I kind of want to try some other stitches now, but I only did the single crochet equivalent for Tunisian crochet, but it is so cool looking. The texture of the piece is awesome. I do really like the look of it. It's so, so cool. I cannot get over how cool it looks. The second thing I liked was how easy it was, at least as a crocheter. Once I got the hang of how working the Tunisian crochet piece works, it's really easy. I mean, I personally think crocheting is easy, but like looking at Tunisian crochet, it feels like Tunisian crochet looks easier. I don't know. I think knitting is still harder, but like if there are some folks who find the crochet stitches to be kind of tricky, and honestly, I'm kind of convinced I might think Tunisian crochet is easier to learn. That might be me, but who knows, right? Something about it feels easier. Maybe it's not that much easier. Maybe Teal Yarn Crafts is a really good teacher. Who knows? Because the videos I watched from her made it so easy. Maybe she's such a good teacher that it felt easy to learn. Who knows? I will be linking that video down in the description below, by the way. I also think it's really cool that with crochet, and even knit too, you have a right side and a wrong side, but you have to flip your work constantly in order to work on the right side, work on the wrong side. Tunisian crochet, you don't have to flip your work. There's the forward pass and the backwards pass, I think. But yeah, you don't have to flip your work at all. So I think that's a very cool part about it, because I don't like flipping my work, because especially if you have a bunch of yarn everywhere, then why would I want to flip my work? It's annoying. So being able to just crochet without having to turn anything makes it very convenient, especially if you're traveling, honestly. I feel like Tunisian crochet with... Okay, no, I was going to say Tunisian crochet might be a travel-friendly project, but with how long that hook was, maybe not. So I take that back. But it is very easy to keep track of your rows, at least. Now, will I do it again? That is TBD. I'm definitely more open to doing Tunisian crochet just because it's so easy, and I tend to be encouraged by doing things that are easy to me because I'm weak. But I don't know if I would do more of it. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I'm open, but I don't know. That's my answer. I definitely have more positive feelings about it now that I've tried it versus prior. The hangups I have about doing it in the future are still the same, which is just how I have to hold the crochet hook. I do recommend people should at least try it. If you're able to get yourself on a Tunisian crochet hook, you should try it. The hardest part actually is finding said Tunisian crochet hook. It's not always available at most craft stores, but if you can find it, you should try it out. So for the people who I think would get the biggest benefit out of doing Tunisian crochet are, one, people who hold their hook with knife grip, and two, folks who have loose tension. I struggled a little bit in the beginning because I have very tight tension, and with Tunisian crochet, for it to flow nicely and also for it to not curl up, you need to have loose tension. If your tension is too tight, your work will curl up and it's a little bit floppy. If you have loose tension, it's nice and flowy. So those are the folks who I think would get the most out of Tunisian crochet. Those who use knife grip and those who have loose tension. Now with that, I will conclude my video here. Thank you for watching along for me experimenting a little bit with Tunisian crochet. Maybe this either encourages you or discourages you from trying it out. I still think you should try it even if you are a pencil grip holder like me, and even if you have similar hangups about it like I do, because it still was interesting. Let me know down in the comments, have you tried Tunisian crochet? Bye!